The scariest sound in Into the Radius 2 isn't a monster in the fog, it's a click when you expected a bang. If you searched Into the Radius 2 weapon cleaning, you have probably already heard that click, probably at the worst possible moment, and you want to make sure it never happens again. Fair. This video is the full routine, what dirt actually does inside your gun, how the brush and oil really work, and the 2-minute habit that keeps a rifle honest. The short version is that in this game, a firearm isn't a weapon, it's a relationship. Neglect it, and it will let you know. Every shot you fire leaves something behind. The game tracks fouling and wear on your weapons, and the sequel goes further than the first game did. Condition isn't one number stamped on one gun anymore. Individual parts get dirty and worn on their own schedule. A spotless receiver bolted to a tired barrel is still a gun that fails. As grime builds, your weapon starts to stutter. First the odd failure to feed, then real jams that need clearing by hand while something with too many limbs closes the distance. An ammunition choice feeds into it. In the first game, hotter lows chewed through durability noticeably faster, and players on the sequel's forums report the same logic carrying over. Powerful rounds cost you twice, once at the shop and once in wear. The routine itself is simple. Back at base, lay the gun on the table and work through the kit. Spray the cleaning oil, then scrub with the brush until the part comes clean. Because the sequel tracks parts separately, don't stop at the outside. Detach what the game lets you detach, clean each piece on its own, and check its condition before you rebuild. The serious surgery happens at a vise. You'll find one at the supply depot and the base buildings, and more importantly, at shelters scattered across the radius itself, which means a mid-expedition rebuild is possible if you plan for it. Oil, brush, vise. That's the entire liturgy. The discipline is the hard part, and discipline is free. Here is what most players get wrong, and it isn't laziness, it's timing. They clean when a gun starts acting up, which means they're doing maintenance in the field, under pressure, with half their attention on the tree line. The habit that actually works is boring. A full clean before every expedition, while you're standing in a safe room next to your gear anyway. The second mistake is watching the wrong part. The barrel does most of the suffering, so a gun can look serviceable while its barrel quietly ages out. Check parts, not vibes. The third mistake is marrying one beloved rifle and running it into the ground. Wear is permanent until you service it. The game expects you to maintain, repair, and rotate, and it punishes sentiment. The sequel's modular system changes what maintenance even means. The Quest version's 0.14.4 update shipped a modular weapon platform with 30 gun frames and more than 150 modules. Barrels, stocks, handguards, optics, all swapped at a vise. Since wear lives in the parts, a worn barrel is no longer a dead gun. It's a component you replace while the frame you have invested in keeps its value. That quietly flips the game's economics. Money spent on a reliable frame compounds because you service it forever instead of rebuying it. Into the Radius 2 reached its full 1.0 release on April 23rd, 2026, and this part system is the spine the whole game hangs on. So the whole guide compresses into one rule: 2 minutes at the table before you walk out, every single time, no exceptions. Clean the parts, check the barrel, load magazines you trust, and the click never comes. It's the least glamorous skill in this game, and the one that decides whether you walk home with the artifacts. This channel plays these games live on stream, and then checks what we think we know against patch notes and community testing, which is how you avoid learning maintenance the expensive way. If that saves you even one run, subscribe, because there's more where this came from. Next time we leave the Radius for a basement. How the Binding of Isaac actually decides your devil deals, with the real numbers behind.